It's one of the most famous sights in the world, Hong Kong's Victoria Harbour, a major tourist attraction and one of the city's defining landmarks. But now the waterfront is at the centre of a fierce legal battle. Hundreds turned out on Sunday to protest a plan to reclaim more land in the harbour. The government has said it wants to build a new highway along the shoreline to ease traffic congestion. Well, Janine Graham reports on the controversial project and its growing chorus of critics.
For 85-year-old retired Judge Simon Lee, it's time to sit back and relax on the ferry crossing Hong Kong's harbour. He's been taking this ride since childhood, but these days it's very different.
It has changed quite a bit. First of all, the journey usually lasts about 10 to 15 minutes from one end to the other. And it was the water, the harbour was calmer than now what it is.
Today, the trip only takes about 5 minutes. It's a shorter and rockier journey, all because the harbour's getting narrower. Waters all around Hong Kong have been turned into vast tracts of new land, a way to accommodate millions of people pouring in. Reclamation has consumed as much as half the harbour, and more is planned.
If they continue with their proposed reclamation another 5 square miles, the harbour will become a river. And we want a harbour, we don't want a river.
Retired lawyer Winston Chiu is on a warpath against reclamation, in a battle that's already reached the courts. Chiu is seeking an injunction to stop the government from dumping more sand into these waters. Despite a court ruling in July that found officials were breaking their own harbour protection laws, the work continued until the decision 2 days ago to suspend dredging and the laying of pilings for 1 week.
It is like this. Other places you have the police stopping bank robbery. But in Hong Kong, we, the citizens, have got to stop the Hong Kong police from robbing the bank.
The government declined to comment on CNN. Officials deny they're breaking the law and argue as roads get more congested, extra land is essential. To stop now, they say, would waste millions of dollars.
Most of the central business district used to lay in the sea, all this behind me. And where I'm standing now, a main thoroughfare, Queen's Road, was once just a rough path that ran along the original shoreline.
The harbour once a shaggy coastline, and good for a dip.
From where they can look across to Kowloon, and in the distance, Red China.
Then began the filling in, and filling in. Now, Hong Kong wants to enhance its image abroad, bringing in rock bands like the Rolling Stones and offering to host next year's World Trade Organization meetings. But critics say this is the image that defines Hong Kong, one that officials should be pitching, not picking away at.
You can go and maybe say to the Swiss that you've just discovered gold on the Matterhorn, right? You say, well, why don't we just chip a bit of it off?
Courts decide next Friday whether the government can continue its reclamation work until the case is heard in Hong Kong's top court in December. And like Simon Lee's trip, it may be a rocky ride ahead. Janine Graham for CNN, Hong Kong.